What is up, everybody? This is Isaac of the Dead, back at it again. Another video. This one's going to be unedited, kind of like a live stream a little bit, so we're going to see how this goes. But I initially had another video that I'd filmed and edited and did a bunch of cuts for, did a bunch of edits, had all the receipts lined up, added up to about a 20-minute video on the Acolyte, the new Disney Star Wars show, and the motherfucker wouldn't render. It just wouldn't render. So much like the Acolyte on Disney Plus, my video was DOA, Dead on Arrival. And that is the topic of today's video, is the Acolyte is DOA, man. If you check the ratio, sitting at 500, 600,000 downvotes to 100 something upvotes. Yeah, that's a perfect ratio. And the first ever ratio for Star Wars on their main channel. Even those other disasters on Disney Plus did not get as much of a ratio as that. But you can see this mainstream media is already starting to attack fans. They're already starting to push the narrative that it's about racism and misogyny is for why people don't like the Acolytes. It's more than that. And I had this video that I made, and I tried my best to render it. But right now I'm going to cover most of the main points I had in that video so I can get this video out here. And Leslie Headland, who is the showrunner for The Acolyte, former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, she liked to play the victim narrative that she was a victim of Harvey Weinstein's misogyny and sexism and whatever. But the truth is that she basically fed girls to this guy. She was essentially Bib Fortuna to his Jabba the Hutt. If you know Star Wars, you know. But one of the other points that I wanted to make in that video was it's funny that the timing of that show's airing is going to be in June, around maybe June 4th, I believe. And they're supposed to be coming out around the same time as House of the Dragon, which I thought was crazy because I like the House of the Dragon trailer that came out last week. I'm really excited for that. I want to see how it goes. And the last time House of the Dragon had come out, their first season, right, they had been head-to-head with Rings of Power. So just as Amazon was sending out hit pieces about the fans saying that, Rings of Power haters are just toxic misogynists, homophobes and whatnot, people who hated Rings of Power also liked House of the Dragon, myself included. And now I was hoping that House of the Dragon would air their second season alongside the second season of Rings of Power to, see another comparison like they did the first time that just wiped them clean. Well, unfortunately, we have not gotten any word on Rings of Power Season 2 yet, so we don't know when that's going to happen. However, House of the Dragon is coming out simultaneously with The Acolyte, so we can see another competition. So far, House of the Dragon is 1-0. All right? I want to see if House of the Dragon makes it to 2-0 when they wipe the floor clean with that dog shit-ass Acolyte show. And so basically, like, another funny thing about that, sort of square off is both lead actresses. So we got Emma Darcy from House of the Dragon, who plays Rhaenyra from House of the Dragon. She identifies as non-binary. All right, I don't really agree with that, but whatever. All these freaks out there try and play these games. But what's funny about that is also Amanda Stenberg, I believe is her name. She is a female of color. And she identifies as non-binary as well, using they, them pronouns and whatnot, But watch the mainstream media, as they're probably already doing right now, writing up hit pieces on fans saying that they are toxic, racist, misogynist, homophobe, all this shit, because the lead actress is non-binary. However, when House of the Dragon comes out, you're going to see that people like House of the Dragon. Oh, what's that? What's that? Oh, that's right. Emma Darcy is also non-binary. So you don't hate Amanda Stenberg because she's non-binary, because you like House of the Dragon because of you see where it gets confusing? You see how these activists and these freaks try and paint these narratives a certain way? We're going to have two shows with lead actresses that identify as non-binary they, them people, except one is in a show that people like because it's written by competent people that want to make something that entertains the fans, versus something that was meant to keep Kathleen Kennedy basically in a seat of power at Lucasfilm. And so those two dichotomies, those two dynamics, basically, that's going to get clipped, isn't it? But that proves to you that the decline of Hollywood and the decline of Lucasfilm in particular is starting to come around. And people, this is a different monster now with the Acolyte. The Acolyte is a different beast as compared to before, because people are starting to wake up to it. People are starting to catch on. Even the conservative boomers who have ignored it for so long. But yeah, people are starting to really get there, right? And yeah, this is my take on the Acolyte trailer. Like, I don't even know what to mention about it. I remember in the video that I tried to get on here that just never rendered. Probably need to get a new editor, to be honest with you. But people asked me what my take was on the trailer, and I said, thought it was boring. There's nothing in there that excited me. It's like, yeah, sure, there's lightsabers of all different colors, but I don't care about the High Republic, right? I don't care about those characters. I don't care about Star Wars anymore. I have a hard time finding enjoyment in what Star Wars has become because they've excluded me as a fan. They've completely gotten rid of fans like me by calling us names, by assuming we're some sort of toxic, political figures. It's like, no, we might believe the things that we believe, but we're still fans of Star Wars at the end of the day. And trying to get rid of us like that is uncalled for. But here we are. Now I'm apathetic towards Star Wars. I could give a fuck about, whatever they're doing anymore. I've lost all interest. They'll never take away what I grew up with. But at the same time, there's not much more to it, right? There's not much more for me to get excited for. And so all that's left is to make fun of it. All that's left is to mock it and shame it for existing. And so it's sad, but that's where I'm at. I'm not excited for it. I will only watch it just for my channel. I'm not going to do much more than that. But basically, there was one part in the trailer that, proves my point, which was, that the fact that this is made by activists and for activists. Basically, somebody had said, this isn't about good or bad. This is about power and who gets to own it, basically. I'm paraphrasing when I say that. But that's a phrase that's used to justify people doing bad things. That's a quote that Voldemort used in The Sorcerer's Stone. There is no good or evil. There is only power. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that bad people say to justify their shitty actions, basically. And so I have no real hope that The Acolyte's going to be a good show. I don't see it being a good show in any capacity. But hey, it'd be fun to roast. It's like, what's that South Park? Put another chick in, make it gay. Yeah, well, if they had come out with that maybe a couple years sooner, but I'm glad they came out with it at all, to be honest with you. But yeah, The Acolyte is the definition of dead on arrival. That thing was dead before it was ever put pen to paper because, and I had receipts in my other video, that Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm leaked that this show was going to happen with Leslie Headland running the helm, basically, about this show, so that Bob Iger wouldn't have fired Kathleen Kennedy at the time. That was about 3 or 4 years ago. That was around 2020 when they did that. And they kept leaking these announcements until they finally officially announced it on a grand stage like Star Wars Celebration or Disney Day or whatever the hell, right? But before that, they were leaking out the information so that Kathleen Kennedy could keep her job. So they had to make this show. They couldn't delay it or cancel it like other projects at Lucasfilm. They had to make this show because they were trying to play the identity politics game of, we're making a show about diverse characters and diverse this, and this, right? Inserting all the DEI stuff in there. And now if they cancel it, people are going to start trying to cancel Disney. They're going to start trying to cancel Lucasfilm. So they were basically putting themselves in a corner to try and make this thing happen. And now here we are. Trailer's coming out. It actually came out sooner than I thought. It's coming out in June. So I'm ready. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see Disney Star Wars shills, cream their pants over small things like lightsabers and references to other movies. While I sit here apathetically watching the pain and suffering of what this show is going to end up eventually being, which is a massive pile of shit. So, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, comment, tell me how much you hate me or tell me how much you love me. I don't really care. Go ahead and put in the comments, like, share, subscribe if you like what you heard. I'm bored trying to get my video editor to work. So thank y'all for watching. I appreciate the hell out of all y'all for watching and subscribing. I just want y'all to know that. it means a lot. It's a small click for you, but it means a lot to me. So thank y'all. This has been Isaac of the Dead. I'll see y'all next time. Don't smoke crack.